There is always a public version of a crisis and a private one unfolding far from cameras. In recent days, many have watched Savannah Guthrie stand before the lens with remarkable composure. Viewers have seen carefully chosen words, steady breathing, and a face trained by years in broadcast journalism to remain calm under pressure. They have praised her strength and shared messages of support. On the surface, it looks like resilience in its purest form. But the truth is often more layered than what we see in short clips and headlines. Behind every measured statement is a daughter navigating fear. Behind every calm appearance is a heart managing uncertainty. Public grace can sometimes hide private heartbreak, and when a family crisis unfolds under national attention, the emotional complexity deepens in ways few outside that experience can fully understand. A life built on professional strength. At 54, Savannah Guthrie represents the kind of professional success that comes from decades of persistence. As a leading voice on Today, she has handled political interviews, breaking news, and cultural conversations with intelligence and warmth. Morning television is unforgiving. It demands clarity at dawn and empathy before most viewers have had coffee. Over the years, she has balanced motherhood, journalism, and relentless public scrutiny. That balance requires emotional discipline. It requires showing up prepared, polished, and present every single day. By this stage in life, many would expect a sense of arrival, a moment to enjoy the rewards of hard work. Instead, she faces a deeply personal crisis that intersects painfully with her public role. The very skills that built her career, composure, articulation, steadiness, are now the tools she uses to survive a private storm in full view of the nation. When crisis becomes public, family emergencies are overwhelming in any circumstance. But when the person involved is a well-known broadcaster, the experience transforms. Every development becomes news. Every statement is analyzed. The disappearance of her 84-year-old mother, Nancy, has created not just a family emergency, but a national headline. In these moments, Savannah exists in two realities at once. One is the public track, where she must communicate clearly and responsibly. The other is the private track, where she is simply a daughter desperate for reassurance. Those two tracks do not move at the same speed. The public expects updates and composure. The private heart wants certainty and comfort. Balancing those worlds requires extraordinary emotional energy. It is not just about speaking carefully. It is about carrying fear while remaining steady enough to prevent that fear from spilling into the broader narrative. The fragility of time age changes how we experience fear. When a parent is in their 80s, time feels fragile. Health considerations become immediate and urgent. Knowing that Nancy relies on essential heart medication adds another layer of concern. For any family, the thought of a loved one without necessary care is distressing. Each passing day carries weight. Each hour feels amplified. While investigators work and authorities search, loved ones wait in suspended animation. The uncertainty becomes its own burden. For Savannah, this waiting happens while the world watches. She cannot retreat completely into private grief because her absence itself would spark more speculation. So she stands publicly while privately counting hours. That quiet tension between outward stability and inward urgency defines the emotional reality of this moment. It is not dramatic in appearance, but it is profound in impact. The conditioning of composure. Strength is often learned long before it is needed. Many people raised with high expectations internalize the belief that vulnerability should be managed, not displayed. Over time, composure becomes instinctive. Savannah's calm demeanor may reflect years of professional training, but it also speaks to deeper personal habits. When faced with stress, some people collapse, others organize. They focus on what must be said and done. They compartmentalize emotion so action can continue. From the outside, this looks like invincibility. From the inside, it may feel like survival. Holding everything together is not the absence of pain. It is the decision to move through pain without letting it dictate behavior. That ability can be admirable, but it can also be isolating. Because when you are always the strong one, it becomes harder to show when you need support yourself. The silence between statements. Public updates offer moments of clarity, but the hours between them stretch long. During those stretches, uncertainty grows. Phones remain close at hand. Every unknown number raises the pulse. Loved ones gather, offering encouragement, yet no one can provide definitive answers. For someone whose career centers on uncovering information, being in a position without it can feel especially disorienting. Journalists are trained to seek facts, to verify details, to tell complete stories. In personal crisis, there are no confirmed scripts. There is only waiting. That waiting can be louder than any press conference. It fills rooms with quiet tension. It magnifies every possibility. What viewers see are composed remarks delivered in controlled settings. What they do not see are the quiet moments afterward, when the weight of uncertainty settles fully and there is no audience to reassure. The inner question. Public admiration is powerful, but it does not answer private doubts. During difficult times, even accomplished adults can find themselves revisiting old emotional questions. Am I handling this well enough? Am I doing everything I can? Those thoughts surface regardless of external praise. Success does not erase the human need for reassurance from those who matter most. A daughter, no matter her age, often longs for simple affirmation from her mother, not admiration for achievements, but unconditional love. Crisis has a way of stripping away everything secondary. What remains are the foundational relationships that shaped us. When one of those relationships is threatened, the emotional impact reaches deep. The desire to hear, "You are enough," becomes more urgent than any public validation. That longing is universal, cutting across fame, profession, and status. Love and expectation. Parental love is rarely simple. It can be supportive and demanding at the same time. Expectations often grow from hope and pride. They push children to become capable, disciplined, and strong. Yet those expectations can also create a lifelong drive to prove oneself. For high achievers, that drive fuels success. It also means that in moments of crisis, the instinct is to meet the standard, even if the standard is self-imposed. Savannah's composed public presence may reflect years of meeting expectations, professional and personal. But beneath that composure is still a daughter who wants her mother safe. Love, in its purest form, does not require performance. It does not demand perfection. It simply exists. Remembering that truth in the middle of chaos can be grounding. It reminds us that beyond roles and responsibilities, we are valued for who we are, not only what we accomplish. The humanity behind the headlines. It is easy to view public figures as symbols of resilience. We see the highlight reel, the steady voice, the confident posture. But humanity is always more complex. Savannah Guthrie is not just a broadcaster delivering statements. She is a mother, a daughter, and a person navigating uncertainty, recognizing that complexity changes the way we respond. Instead of focusing solely on the spectacle, we can offer compassion. Instead of analyzing tone, we can acknowledge courage. Strength and vulnerability can coexist. Composure does not cancel fear. Public grace does not eliminate private tears. When we allow room for that duality, we honor the full human experience rather than a simplified narrative. And in times of crisis, that empathy matters more than commentary ever could. A hope for reunion and healing. At the center of this story is a simple hope: safety, reunion, and healing. Beyond media coverage and public attention lies a family waiting for reassurance. Whatever unfolds, the most powerful truth remains love. A daughter's love for her mother does not depend on circumstances. It is rooted in shared history, in childhood memories, in countless ordinary days that built an unbreakable bond. In moments of fear, what matters most are the words that require no performance. I love you. You are enough. Those words have the power to steady even the most anxious heart. As the nation watches and hopes, the deepest wish is not for headlines, but for comfort and peace. Because behind every public story is a private family longing simply to be whole again.